right, guys, when you're talking about next level players, right? Transcending players, players that can take you over the top. Um, and I do know that health comes into a play. I do know that other risks come into plays like the player's age and stuff like that. But I really think that if you put Dez to the outside and you put a player like Brandon Marshall to the opposite side, right? You got Cole Beasley in the mix. Come on, you got even let's say a Lucky Whitehead or what have you running a sweep or something like that. Zeke the Freak in the backfield, McFadden the spellback, and whoever you decide to draft in the draft, whoever it may be, whatever it may be. If you got all these things in the mix, right? You got top players, you got players coming left, you got players coming right. These are things that can change your franchise. I'm talking about squeezing out that moment, right? Squeezing out that fraction of a second to get that player that you really need to bolster your team, to put your team in the next stratosphere. Things that can do a lot for your team. Yeah, he's going to be expensive. Magic Toaster said he's going to be expensive. Shout out to you for being in the box. Let me know if I'm too loud or what have you. Let me know so that or let me know if the audio is great. I meant to say, but these type of transcending players, these type of players that can push you into another stratosphere. Whether or not it may be too expensive, but whether or not it may just be not natural to do. I'm not saying put all your carrots in one quart. Put all your what is it? Put all your eggs in one basket. Appreciate it, Magic. I'm not saying put all your eggs in one basket, right? But what I'm saying is, if there's a big if your player is willing to, if a player is willing to come for cheap, I'm talking about come for like low, not a lot of money and stuff like that, then it's time to take that type of risk. And that's what I'm feeling with this Brandon Marshall deal. If he's willing to take that type of risk of just coming for the low, I would love to see him on the Cowboys roster. I think that I think he'll be able to push our team to the next level. And those are things that I always look for. Those type of elements, man, in a team that can push somebody to the next level. Now, I've been talking draft for like the last few days or what have you. For the last few months, we've been talking about draft, and that's what you pretty much do when you when you're in the off season, right? There are people out there with opinions that they can matter, as far as where your team can go and stuff like that. But me personally, I just think without any doubt that the Cowboys next year is going to be a better team collectively. But the only thing that they must do to stay focused on everything is to take that small risk. Hey, Barbara, what up? Shout out to you, man. B. Marshall and Dez will be nice secondary nightmares. Oh my God. Can you think about that? Magic Toaster. Man, just me and you, right, in the chat room, right? And Dino, the barber. Um, Shout out to the barber. So just us three, right? Collective minds putting things together. We talking about Cowboys. We talking about draft picks. We talking about things that can help push this team to the next element, next level. Maybe place in another stratosphere. But if you look at it collectively, right? I'm just gonna talk slow. You got Zeke the Freak back there, arguably one of the best running backs in the NFL, right? And then you got Dez Bryant on the opposite side. And then, God, you have Brandon Marshall on the other side. That would be so nice, man. And I think we need a better cornerback and a D lineman. Yes, we do need a better cornerback and a D lineman coming from the barber. We do need those guys. But at the same time, look, either you're going to build it through the draft or you're going to find that one or two players that is explosive. And pretty much so, if you don't find that one or two players, then, then we're gonna have the same mundane like process of us being just so close and nothing happened. We got to have that one or two explosive player. Could it be Jabril Peppers? I don't know. Can it be a Dory Jackson, kickoff return specialist? Could it be a Curtis Samuel, or on the defensive side? Can it be a Malik Hooker or Eddie Jackson? There's so many players that we could possibly get, but we just don't know because they are not known commodities. They are not proven on the next level yet. So the things that can really rile us up is the free agency. If we can find players for the cheap. Hey, Sarah, thank you for joining in, and David too with James, diving, I believe meant to say. But Dallas still has no one to go deep. I put a video. I just try to make as many clips as I could of Kenny Stills. Now I left a lot of plays out there that he can do. He can catch in traffic. He can run reverse sweeps. He's fast. He's elusive. Now, of course, he's been on the Saints. He had a good quarterback throwing him the ball. The Drew Brees of the world, and who else he had? Tannehill. He's not the greatest quarterback in the world, but we can see, Kenny Stills can be formidable in this team. Somebody who's explosive, can take the top off the defense. Somebody that players going to have to, the opposing team is going to have to figure out something to figure out how to stop this guy. Those are things that we really need to do. When you say the barber. And to be honest, I'm seeing you doing big things next season. Collectively, we can do big things next season. We can make this thing be so explosive. I don't know if you're talking about me. Hopefully, I'm doing big things next season. But Cowboys Nation, we really, man, I'm telling you, we really are just so close. I promise you, I think we just like one or two players away. I really think that it's possible for us to get those one or two explosive players to step it up, be more formidable to the team. Those are my dreams. So if we look back at what Brandon Marshall can do, and Brandon Marshall, if anybody can hear you, and if anybody knows your contact number, or if you so happen to fall on this video, all I'm saying is give Dallas Cowboys a chance. No state income taxes, The property value is pretty low around here. You can stay in the Frisco area, the DeSoto area. Really nice, You can stay in the Prominence area. You can just stay anywhere. Just come to Dallas, man, and trust me, you'll have a career after your career. Teams like the Dallas are just so polarizing that people likes to look. You'll be a immediate person that can. This is my sales pitch. I just feel like I'm in a sales pitch interview, right? You can have a career after your career, basically. Broadcasting, be a legend amongst legends, things like that. These are transcending talents that you can do beyond football. You said, James, I wish Dallas would see if Paul Richardson, I think he was the last name, from Seattle, is available. He's speed, his guy. I like he can catch the ball with his hands. I love that fact. I love that aspect that you can catch the ball with your hands. You can pluck it out of the sky. I like what he did. I think he wore number 10 or something like that. But he'll be an extreme plus to a team. I think he'll be able to do a lot. I just like that. I cut his hair. Brandon Marshall, his agent, talking. Right, man. Even the barber were willing to cut your hair, man. Come on down to Dallas, man. I'll buy your jersey, man. Whatever jersey number you wear, It's sad that great players like Brandon Marshall would never even appear in a playoff game. Yeah, Magic Toaster, man. If he can just come on to Dallas, we going to the playoff. If he coming down here. Patel, man, what's good, fam? Thank you for joining in. Sierros, why do you think if we could get excuse me. Far as what we can get from trading Alfred Morris, maybe a fifth. or sixth round with some type of I think fifth or sixth round. I don't think a fourth for a third unless the team is desperate. I really think what we can really get for an Alfred Morris is picks with, I'm trying to think of a word, with conditions to it. If does player run 800 yards, we'd throw in a second, or if does player run 1,000 or 1,500 yards, we'd throw in a third. Things like that. Those are what I think that we can get from an Alfred Morris. Not the Eagles. It's Frankie Zito. I think we should get a pass cut. Yeah, yeah. Nice drink, late night chatting football, amazing. Yeah, man, I got my little nightcap. It's late where I'm at, so just trying to call it in. I just want to be able to just talk to you guys what's on my mind, since nothing else to do out here. But I got you guys right. No, sir. Frankie was the Giants, the Cowboys, most talented in the NFC East. Man, think about it, man. The NFC East. Let's talk about that. Technically, the NFC East collectively is talent across the board, man. Every quarterback, with the absence of Carson Wentz, is a Pro Bowl quarterback. You got two-time Super Bowl Giants, and we all know that they can go either way. If you on this side of the table for Eli, or you're on that side of the table for Eli, I understand that. But you got Odell Beckham, you got Sterling Shepard, you got prominent players that's gonna step it up, and then you got from the Washington Redskins, you got Deshaun Jackson if he stays, and then you got Garcon. You got these players, and you got good things going around in NFC East. And I know we the laughing stock in most conversations, but no other team, no other division, I meant to say, has more championships, more Super Bowls than the NFC East. And it goes to tell you, man, that these teams is like the SEC of the NFL. We play each other hard. It's always a rivalry game, and it's not like the flunky division that Tom Brady is in, because two of those teams just horrible each and every year. And every year our teams are just playing each other like mad dogs, man. What we got over here? Godzilla, Jesus Christ, save people from their sins. Okay, well. The sins are sins, right? Charles, they have a free agent left allowed. We can't tire them. Yeah, you're right. Seymour, Kirk Cousins made the Pro Bowl. Default, Eli Manning was a Pro Bowl quarterback. Not anymore. Yeah, but you can't count Eli out, man. I would not count Eli out. I've been trying to do it for years, and it just have not came to fruition. Got your candle going in the background. I feel you. Shout out to the candles. Yeah, man, gotta have the candles setting the mood, setting the vibe. Got the candles in the background. Got the Cowboys hat. Got a bobblehead of Emmitt Smith in the background. Got the bed, all this stuff, man. Marshall and Brian on each side will be a dream come true. Cowboys, Wayne. Yeah, man. If you think about it, man. Think about it, Cowboy Wayne. I hope I seen your last name right. B. Marshall. Dallas Cowboy. B. Marshall. Dallas Cowboy. Dez Bryant on the other side. That type of thing will just take the top off of everything, man. And you got to be able to do that, Got to be able to do that, guys. Man, I'm just telling you the truth. Until March 9th, they are still Cowboys. Beasley in the slot, unstoppable. Yeah, but Beasley need a little help. And here's what can give Cole Beasley a little help. OJ Howards of the world, a faster Jason Witten, somebody that can just stretch the middle inline of that particular defense, and they won't be able to sit their linebackers into those zones. They have to either put in a smaller package, get them out of a base defense and maybe moving them into a dime or something like that. But if we can run them out of that, we all know that. But at the same time and token, man, if we have somebody that can be just stretch the field, or somebody that's tall enough that can truly catch the ball with their hands, would be so much of a plus with this team. And that's why I look at it. Everybody love Rico Gathers. I love Rico Gathers to the heart too as well. But if you look at it, it's going to take a while for him to get adjusted to football from a tight end perspective. It's going to take him a little second. What position would you go for in the second round? Who's that? Frankie. Second round. Granted, if you go with offense first round, right? If a not Juju Smith, but who will I go with in the second round? Eddie Jackson, a Malik Hooker, a Buda Baker. Look up these guys, man. They're gonna be falling in the round of the second round if they are not selected in the first. I know Solomon Thomas would not make it that far out, but Charles Harris. If you go with these guys with the first, then look for an explosive guy in the second. Maybe Christian McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, because we picking so late in the second round. It's pretty much like our third. So you got to figure out how to mix up that explosive player and finding that perfect soup of a defensive player that you can pick up maybe either free agency or if you can find a guy in a draft. Those are things that you always need to look up. I just said it. We need a pass catching fullback. Yeah, the barber, man. A fullback is going extinct. But a pass catching fullback is now your hybrid tight end, somebody who, like you say, a Rico Gathers, But Rico must learn the playbook. He must be able to figure out what's the responsibility of blocking, what's the responsibility of an offensive lineman. Can he be an inline blocker? Can he shift and get skinny and run a skinny post? Can he play to the outside? That's what all of the calibers or a perfect match of what a tight end can do. They're not just big bodies guys. They must know how to block, stuff like that. Any safety to catch your eyes, like I say, Eddie Jackson, Malik Hooker, and the other kid from LSU. He will not be there. Yeah, Hooker is a top 10 pick, but Hooker is injured. I meant to say James. So that's why he maybe can drop. McCaffrey is another Danny Woodhead or a poor man's Darren Sproles. I don't see him on a 3-down back. Yeah, so if you don't see Danny Woodhead being a 3-down back, he'll be a good transitional back, a back that you can put in for spelling, a la Zeke the Freak, or coming in after Darren McFadden. Yeah, somebody would say, hey, why would you pick so high with those type of backs? Because you got a 3rd-down back. Now you have Dunbar is probably gone. Alfred Morris on a trading block, so we all know what is going to happen with that. We're going to look for either getting a 4th or maybe a 5th-round pick with Alfred Morris, or if possible, some team is desperate enough to get an Alfred Morris. So those are things that you always got to take a look at. Keith Smith did a good job blocking. I just thought, yeah, Keith Smith did do a good job. Excellent job. Wonderful job. Fantastic job. But he's just not an explosive guy. I think Buddha. I think he's more realistic. Maybe Carl Lawson. I love his tape. I love his film. Carl Lawson or Tech McKinsley. I would go with Tech McKinsley. Look up his film. take a look at it, view it. I like the way his pedigree is. I like what his background brings to the team. And then I just like to have the notion, tack attack, just like Dak attack, or the Dak and attack attack. They're gonna make somebody get a T-shirt that says the tack attack, or the Dak attack. Those things, man, will make me just like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to hear that. I hear Adrian Peterson want to come to the Dallas Cowboys. Adrian Peterson, AP, AD, or however you want to call him, I don't think he's going to the Cowboys. I think he want money. And when you want money, it's just so hard, man. It's so hard, man, to figure out how much money this kid want. I don't know what his market value is. If only, now we do know that it's not veterans minimum. We do know that there are teams that are desperate enough. If a team is willing to trade for Alfred Morris, think this out. A team is willing to pick up a AD all day, Adrian Peterson anytime. Carl Lawson look raw right now, like Tech, though. Yeah, you're right, man. We like Tech. Frankie, thank you for being part of the Law Nation Network. Jabril, it falls at 28, might drop for not having a true position from New Jersey in his high school division. If available, needs to be selected. Versatile, insane, something that we need. Yeah, and that's where I always look at the playmaking ability of what Jabril Peppers can do. You can put him on kick return. He's not the great in space, but he can hit you. Kind of put you in the mind of a faster, stronger, more elusive J.J. Wilcox. But he's just got that playmaking ability to just put that team on the map. And we all do know, without a shadow of a doubt, we only have few or small playmakers on our team. Cole Beasley, although I love what he does, he just doesn't really make that play. I mean, he can make the small plays, but he'll make that real raw, intricate play, Roy, what's up, man? Thank you for being part of the Law Nation Network. It was the barber. Adrian Peterson would make a defense tired. I know he will make a defense real. He'll make a defense pay. He'll drop that shoulder. Yeah. So those are things that always come to my mind. Look, the thing is with Jason Garrett, and I do know that he's not a fan favorite for most. It's hard to digest, right? It's hard to get the mind of a Jason Garrett, like all what he brings to the table and all what he does and stuff like that. But I really think that, I'm not saying that I'm like, hey, let's go all in for Jason Garrett. But the problem is that nobody wants to coach behind, let's just face it, Jerry Jones. So you got to have somebody who's willing to understand and know Jerry Jones and not get into a fist fight or a shouting match with him, because Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett is Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett knows Jerry Jones and Jerry knows Jason Garrett. It's just a match made in whatever, Jerry world that you can think of. Peppers on offense or defense. Heard he's the best position. Might be a running back. We need him in the first round. Yeah. Peppers is Peppers, man. Jabril Peppers we talking about. Can just put any team in a different stratosphere if healthy, if he can find. But he's a project player again, so we just don't really know. I'm from the mindset I love known commodities. I've been talking about known commodities for a second, and I really think that known commodities will be a plus for us. And known commodities are like your Deshaun Jacksons of the world, or Brandon Marshall, or any player that we know without a shadow of a doubt that we know they can bring in productivity, like a Calais Campbell. But at the end of the day, we probably end up getting a Chris Long or somebody like that of that nature, things like that. From BrianBrothers.com, right? A good tackler, yeah. A good tackler, somebody who can tackle out in space. See him as a running back. I don't know. I don't know, man. Sometimes scouts personnel are so far fetched on players. They kind of put them in wrong positions. They kind of gamble and they take the wrong angles and stuff like that on a player. So things like that we always got to take a look at. Getting the defense to turn the ball over, either by interception or forcing a fumble, has been lacking for years. Roy, you right, man. That's from Roy. Roy, you're right, man. We have yet to get like that ball hawk, that person that can just make plays. Now, we probably have a dark horse in the race, which is Jeff Heath. Jeff Heath may be the guy that we all need. Jeff Heath may be that guy that can just create turnovers. Just don't look the part like everybody want him to be. Probably don't make great tackles or great angles and stuff like that. But I really think that Jeff Heath can be the guy. He goes out, he make plays. It's just that I really believe like his first year was kind of like a bad year. 2013, right? 2013 Jeff Heath rookie year just was not up to par. And he been hit with that mantra of that he can't do this and can't do that. But I like Jeff Heath. I really think that he's going his way, man. Yeah, I'm about to say Country Wayne, but Cowboy Wayne, you're right, man. He always end up with the ball one way or another. I like what Jeff Heath does. He need to start. I did that video. He need to start. Jeff Heath need to start. Barry Church. If you Barry Church is gonna be gone, guys. I really don't think that we're gonna find the money or figure out a way to keep him. Barry Church and let me see, DeMarco Murray scenario is gonna be similar. We're gonna put out there and say, okay, here's the offer. Here's the amount of money that we can give you, right? And there's gonna be an A team or B team and say, okay, here's the amount of money that we can give you. You know what I mean? And he's gonna end up being shifted off and moved off from the team. So yeah, like Frankie said, let Barry walk. It's time to let him go. Gotta let him go. Gotta let him go. Yep, resign Claiborne. Man, resign Claiborne for pennies. That's the only way we can keep him alive on this team. Super Tiger, how's it going, Laura? Going pretty good, Super Tiger. Thank you for joining in, man. Nah, not Bond Heath. He seems like the backup RB theory. Always look better than the starter and the limited reps. All right, well, yeah, I mean, you can look at it that way, but when that guy comes out with those limited reps, he make plays, he make things happen. There are three types of players out there, three types of teams out there, three types of players that I always like. People that go out, well, not three type of players that I like, but three type of people out there. People that go out and make things happen, people that go out there and watch things happen, and people that go out there and just say what just happened. He's the guy that go out there and make things happen. So that's why I like Jeff Heath. He'd go out there and make things happen. I just write Super Tiger 2607. Byron Jones is one of my favorite DBs. He just needs to work a little bit more. Cowboy Wayne, this is the thing is with Byron Jones. This is his third year, so we all do know the Bill Parcells mantra. A player must be able to show what they are worth in their third year. If they're not able to show that, then, hey, it's time to, clap your hands and say, hey, it's time to say goodbye. Count up your losses, chunk up your deuces, and say, hey, peace. So if you don't show us any return on our investments within that third year, that it's just a bust of a pick. But I really think that Byron Jones is going to show up this year. We should sign Claiborne on improve it as a contract. Yeah, we should do that. Super Tiger. Yeah, Frankie. If we figure out a way, right? If we figure out a way to restructure his contract to allow us to trade Tony, that would be a plus. But, and I'm saying, granted, if he's not willing to restructure, if we cut him, we only getting 5 million, and we would split the salary cap hit for next year and stuff like that. So those are things that we always looking at. So I would prefer, me personally, I would prefer to have Romo still on the team, believe it or not, because you can go to sleep good at night knowing that if something ever happened to your starting quarterback, that you have a good quarterback to come into the mix. But on the flip side of things, we all know in a perfect world, it'd be best that Tony Romo retires and we just don't have to worry about anything. We don't have to worry about the aspect of him going to another team and making the team better, and we facing that team down the line, or we don't have to worry about the aspect of just in general, just cutting the guy and losing a lot of money on the table in the long run. So, but at the same time, I think that Tony Romo will be cut before March 9th. And he's either going to go to the Denver Broncos or he's going to go to the Texans, in my humble opinion. I'm so sick of these salary problems. Laugh out loud. We have to get over the offseason hump and be more aggressive. Yeah, it's like this Zito. Salary cap is always going to be an issue because of the fact that we draft so well. Basically, you got the whole offensive line that you got to say you got to sign. So if you look at it from this aspect, you got all these good players on your offensive line. You had to re-sign Dez Bryant. You just couldn't let him go, right? You had to re-sign Travis Frederick. You had to re-sign, well, not re-sign, but restructure. You had to put money in the hands of number 77. You had to put money in the hands of Zach Martin now. And see, the other problem that we have now is Ron Leary. Do you pay Ron Leary or do you let him walk? So those are things that are always a problem for us. Or do you pay Terrence Williams or do you walk? So those are things that you always got to put in mind. Do you say, okay, Terrence Williams, will you be willing to play for us for 3 million or 2 million? But Terrence Williams said on the market they asked him for 6 or 7. I can get that from a team, or a team that just don't have the salary problems that we have because they're technically horrible and don't have good salary caps outside of the New England Patriots, whatever they do to have such great. They got 80 million to spend. If New England Patriots wanted Terrence Williams tomorrow, they can just say, "Hey, Terrence, what's up? We signed you for 8 mil." There's nothing that we can do. He's gonna go to the New England Patriots and he's gonna be a good receiver for Tom Brady. But New England Patriots don't operate like that. They're gonna get them a good marquee football player on the defensive side to help boost their team. So it's just crazy how the football league is. I just hate salary cap in general. What's it, Zito? Damn, think of if we could have Landon Collins instead of Byron Jones. No, oh yeah, Landon Collins would be a perfect fit. He's not a guy that's trying to play safety because he is a safety. Byron Jones trying to play safety because he's not a cornerback. No matter how you look at it, maybe he don't fit this scheme, but he cannot play cornerback for some reason. He get lost in space a lot. He can play aggressive. He can play on the line or what have you. He can play in the interior of the football, but he have no technique as it relates to outside technique. I don't think he plays the inside technique very well. He plays it subpar. So those are things that when I look from my eyes to I said Brandon Carr, but Byron Jones, it's just horrible. So he's just a better, like I say, he's better in the position of playing free safety, or I don't think he can play strong, but it's just what it is, man. I go on and on and on discussing how Brandon Jones is not a good fit at what his position is because of his skill set. Let Ron walk, let Lyle Collins and Doug Free can service us for at least one more year and address that next year. Let me see. The problem is with that. I think Chaz Green can play guard. I think Lyle Collins can play tackle. But these thinking we just not have yet to prove it. You know, I like to say like proven products or proven commodities. But at the same time, if let's see, Ron Leary walks, Ron Leary go, there's nobody at left guard, right? And we need somebody at left guard. We need somebody that can step it up, right? I think Jonathan Cooper may can flex into that spot, but I would rather have Chaz Green in that spot. Technically, I'd rather have you kick Chaz Green to right tackle, and you put Lyle Collins right there, right beside my guy number 77. So it's just so many holes in this doggone offensive line when you take away Ron Leary and you're talking about Doug Free possible retiring. That's just things that we're gonna have to figure out one way or another, right? I think we can be more aggressive with trades too. Yeah, we could, but it's just what it is. I heard the report from Dallas saying that Collins will stay at guard, and yeah, that's from Roy. If Collins naturally, I think he can play well right beside our big guy number 77. But at the same time, I think Collins can play tackle though, you know. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when it comes, right? We will figure out what we need to do in the long haul, man. Now that let me see what we got here. Burgess just got in. What are you guys talking about? What are your guys' take on Marshall? This is from Burgess. Like I said, I think Marshall can push this team to the next level. I think he can just be able to. Let me see if I can put this collectively and just sum it all up. Marshall is a sure hands catcher, right? Catches the ball with his hands. I mean, he's a immensely upgrade of a Terrence Williams. I think that it'll be a defensive coordinator's nightmare. I think that he's able to. I don't know, man. It's just gonna be crazy to see. It's just crazy for anybody to think about Dez Bryant and Brandon Marshall on the other side. You got a quarterback who can run and pass the ball. You got Zeke the Freak in the backfield. You got Darren McFadden coming off the bench. You got whoever they draft for. Just weird, you know. Those are things that I'm talking about, man. Those are things that can push this team to the next level. Some more. What do you think about Jordan Hicks, the Eagles' rising star, the middle linebacker? Man, Jordan Hicks brings in. It kind of remind me of Hitchens his first year, but Jordan Hicks is a better Hitchens, you know, that we have on our team. I think that Jordan Hicks is a phenomenal linebacker. I think that he plays well open in space, fast. He hurt my boy Tony Romo by landing on him illegally, but I think Jordan Hicks is a up and rising star. I like what he can play. I think they're making rooms for him. They're going to shift out a few players for him. And the Eagles defense, believe it or not, do not sleep on the Eagles D. They got great defense. So you guys should continue to do what you guys need to do. But Dak is coming for you guys. But outside of that, you know, if I was the Eagles, I would not try to let Benny Logan go. I'd figure out a way to keep him, because that plug that you can just put right there, he can play the one technique, he can play three technique very well. The guy just amazing, man. But it is what it is, man. Ooh, can I imagine Benny Logan on our team? And you guys can get Thornton back, man. Give me Benny Logan, and I will ship. I would get in my car and I'll drive Thornton back to you guys, you know. But I like Cedric Thornton too, though. Like he played three technique very well. Collins played at left tackle at LSU, so left tackle is a whole lot different from right, but I think Collins can learn the right tackle. Yeah, guys. Now I'm really getting sleepy and tired now, man. I think this hand dog is really kicking in. But I'm going to just say a few things before I go. Burgess, I believe Dallas grabbed a Cowboys. I can't even read. Burgess, I believe Dallas grabbed a cornerback with the 28 pick if they get Chris Long and D Ware. It's just making the team even older with Chris Long and D Ware. I think they get one of the two guys. I think, in my opinion, they're going to run off with Chris Long. Chris Long lamented that he would like to play for the Cowboys. It's just that the Patriots made a better offer last year, and of course they was a little bit leaning on the side of being a contender versus the Cowboys. But I think that Chris Long will end up being a Cowboy before March the 9th. Marshall is 32, very similar to Dez Bryant. Cowboys need a receiver that can get over the top and with pure speed. Yeah, I thought of that. The Jawad Seymour. I thought about that. They both similar, just like Garcon. He's similar to Dez Bryant too as well. But you can't out coach experience. I think Brandon Marshall is a better route runner. I think Brandon Marshall is a better hands. I'm not trying to excoriate or cast aspersions on Dez Bryant, but I think that Dez Bryant doesn't catch the ball like Brandon Marshall does with his hands. So I think Brandon Marshall will come and immediately catch those contestant shots of passes, what have you, can run a better dig and combat route. So it will still make the cornerbacks play aggressive against these guys. And you do know that Brandon Marshall and Dez Bryant are great at pass rushing. I mean, not pass rushing, but run blocking for Zeke the Freak and the other running backs that we have in the backfield. So with all that said, in a nutshell, I think that Brandon Marshall is a better T. Will and a better Bryce Butler. So whatever those two guys was able to do from a production wise, you know, it just look at it. Let's look at it this way. The Decker kid that they had in for the New York Jets and the Brandon Marshall, same as what it will be from like a Dez Bryant and the Brandon Marshall, if that makes sense to anybody out there. Let me see what else we have out there. Did you hear about Poe? It's not tag and it's upgrade over McClain. Man, Poe is an upgrade over anybody that we have on our defensive line at this point. But yeah, guys, it's been my time. I thank you guys for yours. I really thank you guys for tuning in. I'm 50 away from 10,000. So if you guys can find in your heart to subscribe to the channel, let me know. Give me any type of feedback, let me know. Like I said, 50 subscribers away from 10,000, trying to get that 10,000 mark. So I really thank you guys, and you guys have a good night, man. Don't forget to drink a nightcap too as well with me. And peace until I see you guys again. How about them Cowboys? I'm out. If I can find that button.